What's going on? Does that show the whole room? Let's put the battery over there. I'm running out of places to put batteries. There we go. Hopefully that will do the job. Let's just get the little camera down a little bit more. Right. Can we see? You can see most of the workshop, can't you? Can you see the boxes? Literally, the rim tape arrived today. Can I use my finger? I should be able to. DJ Brew, welcome in. It shouldn't be lagging, to be quite honest. Oh shit, I'm in the car. Bear with me. What internet are we on? Let me change the. I've got 2 networks I can use. Why? It works down here some days, and then other days it just doesn't work. What the hell is going on?
DJ_Brew says martini paint job EZ.
Right, bear with me a minute. Sorry about this. Bear with me. I'm just going to see if I can swap the network over. Thank you for your comments about the car. Hang on. Right, what's that like? Let's try that. That's another network. Let me try the other network and then we'll see what's going on.
Live stream active.
That's a little bit better. I'm not sure what's going on. We should have at least 3,000 down here. There we go. It's coming back. It's coming back. It might have just dropped off.
Says hey hey. DJ_Brew says better.
Yeah, that's the only problem. So I'm using phones. So you're literally watching on a phone. Yeah. How's it going? Welcome in. So I'm Clive. I'm an IRL streamer from the UK. Welcome in, everyone. And I stream using a mobile phone. Sometimes it gets a bit. It loses itself. Welcome in, everyone. How you doing? So we've got the tape. I'm just trying to find a way of. Hello, how are we doing? I don't want to scratch the rims, so I'm going to use a cable tie to pull it round, if I can. Right, that's it. I just want to pull the rim tape a little bit this way. Done. No, it's got 1 rim tape on. So, welcome in, DJ. New wheels, yeah. So back in May, I cycled the length of the UK, and I basically broke the wheels. So these are the Halo rims. These are 36 spoke. Look at the size of that disc, because we had problems stopping. I'm not going to get brake failure again. Hola, mate. Evening. So yeah, the garage is nice and warm because the car's still hot. And I'm just trying to get this rim tape on.
DJ_Brew says must have enjoyed the cycle if you're doing it again next year.
Yeah, so I'm trying to build a custom bike. Funny you should be called DJ, because I was actually DJing the other night. That's one of my hobbies. I'll see if I can take you over to the bike. Here is the bike that I'm kind of building. So if you can see this, this is a really old bike, and I'm trying to work out if we can have the carrier on the frame, but the suspension's independent. And when it comes to the front... Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, my DJ street, I DJ for hotels and that, so a lot of the time I'm sitting around not doing much, so it's just nice to have some company. So I'm trying to design something that comes off the front of here. So we're going to have some kind of carrier, which I'm going to clamp on, that comes out. So my tent and that is on here, so none of it's on the steering. But these are the new wheels. I've got new tyres and everything to go on these wheels. So if you bear with me, I'll just get the camera back where it goes out the way and tilt you down. There we go. But yeah, meet the Mark 1 Golf. So the tyres I'm going to be running are these, which are the Schwable Marathon Plus mountain bike tyres. And these have got like 5mm of protection in them. Now we didn't get any punctures. Well, I did get a thorn in the tyre, but the tyre didn't go down. We only found there was a puncture when they took the tyre off to do the spokes. If you squeeze them, you can feel that like they are really, really thick. I'm not sure they're as big as I wanted. I wanted a little bit bigger, but these are only in. I think they're 210. Let's have a look. Direction, rotation. Oh, okay. Rotation. Disc is always on the left. Disc is always on the left, so disc needs to be that side like that. So we'll put that way. Now, I'm not sure if I can get these in. Can you actually see what I'm doing? No, you can't really see, can you? I'll bring the camera down a bit more. Well, we'll get them in. This is all I'm doing. I thought I'd just go live just to do this, because you lot said, am I going to be live tonight? And I was like, well, we'll see. Yeah, so the bike that I used was if you do exclamation mark bike, it will show you the bike that I used to do the ride last time. It was a mountain bike. I put road slicks on it. I put mud guards on it, but I put like road mud guards, full mud guards on it. And mainly because I wanted a mountain bike, because I wanted to do a bit of off-roading. The problem we had was the carrier on the front clamped to the front forks. The carrier on the back fitted to the frame. There was no rear suspension. With all the pannier bags on the carrier at the front, the steering was just really, really heavy. And it was just difficult to navigate. And it wasn't just the weight. The bike weighed about 42 kg. And I will get a weight at some point. We need to weigh the bike and find out how much it actually weighed, because we still haven't done that. But I can't actually buy what I want. You can buy a road bike, you can buy a gravel bike, you can buy a mountain bike. If you buy a mountain bike, they've only got one chainring on the front. Now, my mountain bike, I want 3 chainrings on the front. I want 9 to 10 gears on the back. And because I want to do on-road and off-road. But I also want a bike where the suspension is independent from the weight. So all of the bike carriers that you can buy fit to the frame itself. And if you've got suspension, the carrier fits to the suspension rear wheel part. So when you hit a bump, all that load is still on the rear wheel. I broke spokes, I broke the bearing. These have got 4 bearings in them. On top of that, we're going to be running these. These are the slime. I think they call them smart tubes. These are really good.
I have 2 gears on the front, more enduro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm quite old school, so a lot of that bike I've just showed you, the ballistic, that's 28 years old, I think we worked out.
Welcome to Clive's Adventures.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
46.
you, Kufunkup, for joining the community.
Thank you, Kufunkup, for joining the community.
Welcome in, how you doing? Thank you for the follow. I am streaming on YouTube as well. I'm trying to grow the following. So basically, I do IRL streams. We do car-related content. We do cycling content. A little bit of gaming, hanging out with the community. We like food. Today we went out and we were looking for a burger bar to review some food and bits and pieces like that. But I raise money for Great Ormond Street Hospital. And that's what I'm looking to do this year. Next year. So we're going to do the cycle again. We're going to... If you want to watch any of the videos or the content, it's all on YouTube. So if you go on my YouTube channel, type in Clive's Adventures, and just have a look from day 1 to day 37 of cycling the country. And you can skip through on YouTube and find the funny bits and whatever else. But yeah, it's I want to continue where we left off, and we'll do some more. And I don't plan. There was no planning on the last one. We just kind of just went off and done it. Right, I need a pump. I don't know if I've got a pump adapter. Have I got a pump down here? Just trying to remember if I've got. Where's the other pump? I didn't think about this, did I? Where did I put it? Because I don't think my pump is double compatible. I've got a mini pump. No, I have to go and get it. It's on the other bike. It's actually on the bike. So let's put this here so I don't damage it. I'll be back in a minute. Bear with me. But do you know what's really, really funny? Out of all the streams I do, whenever the car's in the background, I always get follows. Like loads of people come in as soon as they see the car. This car just seems to attract people. Not quite as good as a pool party though. Hot tub pool parties. Hey Martin. Right, hang on. I'll get a pump and I'll be back. You coming to sleep out in the garden?
No.
What are you two looking for? Don't lock me out, will you? What are you looking for, mate?
I was looking for one of my teddies, but I'm not trying to get
Oh, okay. Not something I can help you with then. Oh, right, I'm back. Let's try and get the camera. Oh, it's so hot in here. I can't believe how hot it is because we went out for a drive in this thing earlier. So, thank you, mate. Right, now this pump was from Aldi. I love this pump because it's got like an adapter on it. Like the end, it fits both types. You unscrew it like that, and it just gets longer, and then it becomes this type valve. But it fits really well. But the other thing with this, which I'll try and show you, it's got like this bit for normal pump, or you can do a double. Is it actually working? Yeah. Yeah, you have to be gentle with it though, because I said it's not a proper expensive one, but I just like that it always works. You don't want loads of pressure. I just want a little bit of pressure. Now, everyone's going to be different when it comes to putting bike tubes in. I always say inflate them a little bit, because if you inflate them, you're less likely to get it caught when you put the tyre on the rim and get the bead on. So pump them up so they're just kind of not fully inflated, just a little bit. Don't lose the bits. Right. Hopefully you can see me over here. I want to be on the carpet, and I don't want to be on the. I don't want to damage these rims. But we'll try these out on the other bike if they'll fit. I'm not sure if they're going to fit yet. Right. Find the hole. I normally leave it at the top. Put the inner tube through, and then pop the tyre over the top. I'll lay them on the floor, it'll be easier. And then just tuck the inner tube in. That's it. Make sure it's all the way around nice and even. Right. I will show you in a minute. Hang on. I'm trying to do this without... I don't want to use levers.
TLL says no baby powder in Tay tire. Secondshin Megamove says fucking dirty nigger.
Can one of the mods go and ban him, please? Because I don't think anyone's on... he's over on Kick. If he done that on Twitch, he'd be auto-banned. But yeah, if he does it on... Yeah, if he does it on Twitch, he'd get auto-banned. But unfortunately, the bot doesn't work.
TLL says no mention of making sure the label is in line with the stem. Secondshin Megamove says fucking nasty monkey niggers.
He hasn't got any friends, has he? Obviously. He was obviously either abused as a child or he's got no friends. But yeah, I should have probably checked that the thing was in line. But to be quite honest, I've never had an issue and there's nothing on this one. Normally you get a little mark, but I can't see one. So yeah. Did you get him, Gigs? On YouTube, no paid per in the tyre. No, see, well, to be quite... Nah, see, I've never worried, to be quite honest. They've got a little bit of something on them.
Sponges says yes.
Okay, mate, you banned him, yeah? The problem is...
Sponges says got him banned.
Oh, okay, mate, cool. Yeah, the rotation's right. We've got the rotation around the right way, but I know what you mean. No, I used to put baby stuff in the tyre years ago. I haven't done it for ages, to be quite honest. I don't think my tyres are ever on the rim long enough to get stuck. And then when I bought the Specialised bike, them inner tubes were almost welded to the tyre when I changed them. But I'm only trying things on.
Says the reason to have the stem in line with the label is that if you have to change tyre at night, you got a 50-50 shot of finding the hole without looking.
Oh, okay, I'm with you, yeah. Well, I always have a light, but yeah, good point, mate. Always good. What I like about my stream's all about everyone as a community. We get together, everyone throws their ideas around. So yeah, there you go, everyone. Although not everyone on Twitch is gonna see that. But yeah, TLL on YouTube is saying to have the stem in line with the label. So if you get a puncture at night, I don't know if you heard it on the thingy, you can find out where it is, but that makes sense. But I know on some tyres, like car tyres, you have a dot and you always line the dot up. So these are the Schwable Marathon Plus mountain bike tyres. I'm going to try them. So when we done Scotland, I was using the Schwable Marathon. I was using like the slick. It was like a slick tyre, really. It was like a road tyre. But what I found was when we were doing the gravel or anything through the woods, it was just a nightmare. The front was sliding out, the rear was sliding out. So hopefully these have got a little bit more grip on them. I prefer something like a Magic Mary, but we're doing a lot of road riding, so I'm just going to see if these fit. So what's the pressure on these? 30 to 60 psi. Well, I'm probably going to run these about 35 to 40. I won't be running them really hard because otherwise they're just, well, you want a bit of bounce.
Says most folks will call that out.
Most folks will call that out. Well, a lot of people are going to call this out because they don't make what I want. So this is a 28-year-old bike. And at the moment, I'm going to go to a manufacturer. Well, I'm going to go to a fabricator, and we're going to get this is an old downhill frame, but I want to get the carrier fabricated into the frame. So I want this to basically tube to come up and be fabricated in, so it looks like it's supposed to be part of the frame. This is just a mock-up on the strength that I want from it. This needs to be able to carry probably 30 kg. So it needs to be able to carry 30 kg on the back. And then on the front, it'd be carrying probably 10 to 15, I suppose, on the front. But we're going to have like an extension. So we've got like a fitting that's going to be welded on here to come out. It's going to have like a basket trough at the front for the tent. Here's all my tent over there, all my sleeping equipment. So all of that up here, because I'm fed up with all the carriers that fit onto the forks. And it's just, as soon as you start putting any carriers on the forks, you lose your steering and your handling. So I'm just trialling this at the moment. This spring is in there just for testing. So this is just a mock-up. This hasn't even got discs. This was used to be V-brakes. So I'm looking at getting these wheels put in this frame, and we basically take this to an aluminium welder, and they start mocking up and welding the bits on. We're going to cut these off. We're going to modify the frame for the rear disc. This is a really strong frame, because it's probably about 5mm to 6mm thick aluminium tube. It's like a really thick aluminium tube. Is it actually, no, it might be only 3mm. I think it's 3mm, but it's slightly thicker than the Specialized I had. The Specialized was all right, but
says, are you gonna do it on your own, or is no B-Race going to join you?
I don't, probably on my own, mate, to be quite honest. I think we're both doing our own things now. I'm not sure. So, you know, I mean, he's got his own ideas and places he wants to go, and I've got places I want to do. So, I don't know, to be quite honest. I do miss him, because we have quite a giggle. But, yeah, just lately, I think we've just got our own little things, and we want to be able to concentrate on them. So, you might get some rides when we're doing stuff local, maybe. But the thing is, like, mountain biking for me, I never really got heavily into it. I've always been into cycling, but I never joined clubs, and I've always done things as I know. So you learn as you go along. Like, this dude's just come in on YouTube and just tell me some really good tips. As we were saying about having the stem near the label when you take the tyre off to find inner tubes. To be quite honest, most of the time I just rip the inner tube out, rip the tyre off, go around it with my palms, make sure there's nothing in it. If there's a big hole, I use gaffer tape or something to cover the ripped tyre, and then just throw another inner tube in. I normally don't muck about with punctures on the road. Fix the punctures when you get to the campsite at night. So, yeah, don't muck about with stuff like that on the road. Let's see if we can get this up to pressure. I want to see if these tyres are going to mount okay, because they're quite a wide rim. But I know a few people said to me, oh, you're going to go tubeless. I don't think I could ever go tubeless. But, you know, I can do most things when it comes to cycling and putting things together, but it doesn't mean I'll do it right.
I've got some really good news for you. I reckon I might be pregnant with your bee-bear. Should we have a fag? Join the motorway. Oh, go on, put your foot down. Go on. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Should we have a fag? Right, now the one thing that always bugs me is whether you can get that tyre straight. I normally just wobble it side to side, and it normally locates itself with a bit of pressure. Has anyone got a better idea? How do you do it? I always just keep doing this to make sure it kind of centralises. I've had bike shops put tyres on for me, and whenever I've got it back, they've always been wobbly, so that's not too bad. There's a little wobble, but when I was taught to do it like over 20 years ago, I was told to just bounce the tyre and get it to bead that way. But everyone's got their own little tips and tricks, I suppose. Yeah, it's pretty good. We'll leave it at that. The only thing I don't like about these is the bloody lubricant coming out the valve. Let's see if I can get it to run back in. What are we up to? Nothing really. Yeah, they do look quite a nice tyre though. These are the Halo 2 T2 rims. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's the front one. I'm hoping the rear. It did say 36 spoke, so I'm hoping they're 36. If they're not, I'm gonna be. I haven't counted them yet. Maybe I should have counted them first. They were the rear one's supposed to be 36 spoke. I don't want to be sending them back. Yeah, it is. It's a lot more spokes than that one. Just because of the sheer weight. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there we go. So the real one is 36. On my other bike, it's 32 front, 32 rear. But it was the 36 spoke for carrying all the extra weight. These are like a through axle style. So I didn't know what through axles were. Everything I had from when I grew up was either a solid axle or it was a quick release axle. Until doing the investigations and asking questions. So I'm still quite new to this because everything I've got in here is 20 years old kind of gear, and it's always done me well. I just re-grease it, new bearings, clean this, new seals, whatever else, you know what I mean, and just keep going along. It wasn't until doing Land's End to John O'Groats with all the extra weight that I had that I found that the bearings were collapsing and cone bearings just couldn't take the weight, and then from there I've learnt lots. So yeah, it's a learning curve. So to everyone that comes in and gives me tips and tricks, thank you, because it's a learning curve, and you can only learn so much for yourself. So yeah, you know what I mean, if you've got any ideas, come and join the community on Discord. We've got a cycling channel, and I'm always welcoming people to come in and share their experiences and their ideas. Like I built this behind me, so I'm an engineer by trade, but when it comes to I think what it is, how do I explain this in the easiest way? As time moves on, newer things come out, and then, you know, I mean, things are sometimes better, sometimes they're not. With a lot of the cheap stuff on the market, which really winds me up. It's almost like the market has been flooded with so many copies of stuff, you're not sure what you're getting, and that's the only difficult part I've had. So buying the wheels, they needed to be a brand. When it comes to like the handlebars and some of the other bits, I've ordered it from China. Through reputable dealers and stuff. So the handlebars we've got 90mm riser bars, so they're coming. I'm then going to put a motorbike crossbar across the middle so I can mount accessories and stuff on them, because I normally run out of handlebar space for all the streaming stuff and whatever else. So I want razor handlebars that will get it away from the tent and everything that's loaded on the front. So yeah, there's going to be some serious changes, but I hope that I want the bike to kind of act. I need a proper stand as well. I want a stand that doesn't break, because I couldn't use a stand. The stand that we had just bent and broke, so I need one that can carry the weight. So we need like a double stand, and if I can't buy one, I might have to have one made or welded onto the frame. I want it to be more like a moped where it goes up onto a centre stand. Right, what have we got in there so far? Nearly 30 psi. But like when I ordered these tyres, it said on there they was only made for a certain type of rim, and I was like, what does that mean? So on here, I don't know if anyone can tell me. Hang on, if I can find it. Performance line. Where does it say it? It does say it on here somewhere. For crotched type rims only. So, without me looking up on Google, Who can fill me in with what that means? I just looked at the rim and went, yeah, that looks okay. Looked at the tyre and that means it's okay, but... What are we at now? We're nearly at 40. I think we're going to need probably 40 in this. It says crotched rims. Crotched. Yeah, crotched rims only is what it says on the tyre. Right, so we've got about 40 psi in that front one. That's probably about right. Oh, okay. Is there like a difference then when it comes, because I've not used
rims have inner profiles that curve inwards near the outside diameter of the rim to provide a hook that helps retain the tire bead under high pressure. On modern bikes, crochet rims are most common and hook bead rims are rare.
Ah, okay.
DLL says you grits. Katia Saura says high pressure tire compatible. I have them on my gravel bike.
I think what it is because I've never read it right now. The hook and the way the tire, this tire is made is the standard way all of my tires have ever been made, right? I've always had this, but I think it's because it now says it on the tyre, you go, oh, well, what's the difference then? Because you never had it written on the tyre. You just bought a tyre and a rim. And if you bought a 26-inch tyre, it just fitted. Yeah, so if you go back 20 years ago, there was just a tyre and a rim. Now, you've got probably different types of rim, different types of tyre. But I'm an old git, and you get stuck in your ways. So I think that's the only difference. So, you know, I mean, without saying your age, TLL, you know, I mean, roughly, are you in your 20s, 30s, or just, I think it's an age thing. Like, I've got a lot to learn when it comes to mountain biking because it's changed so much. When I was 13, probably 12 or 13, I had a Pawala Chrome BMX with, I can't remember what crank was in it.
DLL says three kinds: tubeless, tubular, clincher, hook and bead, and not tubeless. DLL says an over 50 mate.
Oh, okay, so you're more into your cycling. So it's probably because I've only had mountain bikes. I've only had 26-inch mountain bikes, but when I was in my teens, I didn't get bought anything. If I wanted something, I'd go and get it. So I used to go to tips and that, and I would strip bikes down, come back with bags and bags and bags of bits from what had basically been thrown away, and I would build my bikes out of bits and pieces. And I had a BMX with Pooch. It was a Pooch 50cc pedal bike. Took the forks off it, and I had a BMX with front suspension on it. Then I bought a mountain bike. Well, I bought a bike. It wasn't a mountain bike, but I put motorbike forks on it, and I had like a mountain bike. I don't know if it was 26-inch wheels or 24-inch wheels, whatever the first mountain bikes were before they called them like mountain bikes. And I put suspension on that, and I rode that for years. And then after that, then all the downhill bikes come out with suspension and whatever else. So I was making stuff long before it was even made in the UK. But again, I've just gone tyre. This is the standard tyre that I've always had. So I've never had tubeless. I've just always had this. But I've never looked at brands and names and stuff like that. I've just gone tyre on rim, pump it up, ride. Never really considered what the different types are, I suppose, because I didn't really care. As long as it does what it needs to do, I never cared for what it was called, if that makes sense. A bit like this car behind me that I built, which has got, I'll lift the bonnet so you can all have a look. I just put things together and make them work. So I put that together and made it work, and it works quite well. Oh. But what I don't like is I don't like bike shops, because you go into them, ask a question, and 9 times out of 10 they don't listen to what you actually want. They just want what they want to sell you. Now the local bike shop to me is actually really lovely, and they're really good. Right, so that needs to go that way round. goes that way, and this tyre goes what way? Which way does it go? You're fitting well in here then, because if you're 50 odd, everyone in here is old. We're all old farts. It is like the old fart gentleman club. Sorry, ladies. I know we've got a few ladies in the stream. Rotation goes that way. So. Oh well, we've got a few young ones in, haven't we, Gigs? Oh, Banny was on one earlier. He was on one more than you was. Right, inner tube. What tyres and inner tubes do you recommend then in the US? What ones do you use? These seem, at the moment, these seem to be the best I can find. I've been using them for a couple of years now, and I swear by them. When we done Scotland, as I said, we broke some spokes, so it went to the shop, and the guy was like, took the tyre off, and he went, "Oh look," he said, "You've got a puncture in that inner tube," and you can see the sealant coming out. So I basically patched it, and then he went, "Oh look, you've got a thorn in the tyre," and the thorn was like that. It was stupidly big, so we pushed it through and took it out, and then obviously because it had gone through the tyre, I then use Gorilla Tape. Like gaffer tape, but the Gorilla Tape. I have a GT40 with gaffer tape around it. Yeah, and if I get any splits, I just put a bit of that in my tyre, and then super glue. If I got super glue, I super glue the tyre, and because when you're touring.
For me are the most reliable long term for me, but I like a smooth centerline on my tyres.
These have got so this is what these are. Yeah, look, if I lift this up so you can have a look. So these are meant to be a smooth roller because they're almost joined in the middle. So when I'm on the road, it's nice and smooth. But the problem I found was as soon as you leant the bike on the other tyres, I was just sliding. And if you had like a slight, if you're going along a path and the mud just went at a slant, I was sliding and I was losing the front end all the time. So I'm hoping that the grips on the edge of this are just going to maybe stop that. Yeah, this lot, remember, so if you watch me on Twitch, you can clip, and my community, whenever I fell off, were making clips of my accidents and then mocking me for the next 10 days. And most of the clips that play when we go offline, so if we lose signal, you'll notice it goes to the Be Right Back screen and all the videos and clips that they've made on Twitch Play. But there was I nearly went in a canal, that was quite funny. So I was riding along a path on the canal bank.
Bruce says been approved, nice engine. DLL says that you are setting quite a load, so your tyre choices are subjective.
It's difficult. I went for these for the puncture resistance. I didn't have any problems with the tyre, so I've not split any tyres. The only problem was carrying that amount of weight. It was an unsprung load. So if you ride motorbikes, I've rode motorbikes, if you ride BMWs, Enduros, if you look at Dakar Rally, they've got all the weight over that back wheel, but the suspension is independent. As soon as you go to mountain bikes or any push bike, the suspension is where they mount the carrier, which completely goes against the way things work, because then you've got a bike that's sprung, but you've got so much weight on the rear wheel that the suspension can't work as it's supposed to, because you've now weighed it down. So what I want to do is basically you put the weight on the frame, you overdo the suspension so it's slightly stronger than it would normally be. I'm not jumping the bike, so all I want to do is on the road, when I hit certain potholes and bumps, I just want it to be absorbed.
So my apologies if my vibe is not aligned right off.
No, you're fine. You're fine. My channel is completely laid back. We are, as I said, I'm actually a Twitch streamer, right? I don't mind anyone, good or bad, when it comes to comments, because everyone's got their own ideas, and that's fine. As a community, they might not always listen to me, but you might come in and have a better idea, and that might fix their problem. So that's good. So yeah, don't worry about that. I'm trying to grow the YouTube channel, but it's one of those things. I said all I want to do is ride, go on these adventures. I don't plan, which makes it more fun to watch, because when things go wrong, they can laugh at me and mock me. And we can raise some money for a kids' charity. So it's a win-win, really. But unlike most people that go on like cycling adventures, I didn't go light. I had like the tent, I had the three-piece cookware, I had a camping cooker, I had a little table, a stool. So if you, well, you can, as I said, go on YouTube.
Chris Hopkinson. Hoppo for short. He set or tried to set the 9.
Hey, night, mate.
Bruce says still not pumped up that tire.
No, I'm on the second one now, mate. I'm on the second one. No, see, a lot of people try and do it as a race. I done it as an adventure. So when I go on my rides, it's not about how fast I can get there. It's just we start and we just have a laugh, and we just. Some days was really a struggle, so we'd get into a campsite and it was finding one. So I had my moderators looking in front of me, so I'd say, look, I'm really getting tired. Can you find something within the next 5 miles, next 10 miles? They'd find a campsite, we'd go to it. So none of it was planned, and I like it that way because I think it makes the adventure a bit more fun, not having any plans. But no, I've not heard of any other people that have done it. I know there was a few people in the UK doing it when I was, and I didn't see anyone, so I must have took the completely wrong route compared to everyone else. But the most, if anyone's thinking of doing Land's End to John O'Groats, all I will say is Cornwall was the hardest part. Why won't that come over the top? That should just pop over there. There we go. Yeah, that was the worst part of it was Cornwall. But yeah, the tyre has got something on it. As I'm doing this, I can feel it all over my hands. So it has got some form of talcum powder or something on it already because it's all over my hands. But it's quite a loose tyre as well. It doesn't it comes off the rim really easy. Like I've had some rims and tyres that are really difficult to get on, and these, well, I don't even need a tool to get them off. They've actually got moped written in them, so these are meant for e-bikes as well. I'm surprised none of them have got clamps. Like on, anyone rides motocross, you remember you have the clamp, you do the clamp up to clamp the tyre to stop the tyre from turning. I wasn't going to go live this evening. It's only because a few people said to me, "Oh, what are you up to?" Oh shit! Have I not opened the valve? But I still don't know what bike we're going to use these on. You've got this bike here, and you've got the Specialized bike, which I used last year. So if all else fails, I'll just put these on the Specialized bike and use that because it works. But I wanted to design something that no one else has got. It was just a bit more to suit my needs. Right, let's put that at the bottom quickly so I can just do this. Make sure it's not caught anywhere. I've never caught an inner tube, to be quite honest, because I always do it slowly. I see people putting tyres on with tyre levers, and I think Ride the Line the other day had a puncture and he was doing something. and he was worried about when he put the tyre on, his rims or his tyres were so tight on his rim, he couldn't get them on with his hands on his own, and he had to use a tyre lever. All I would say to anyone doing that is just make sure you pump the inner tube up first. If you pump the inner tube up so it sits in there, it kind of pushes away from the rim, so when you pop the rim on, it won't get caught. But if you leave the inner tube flat, then it could get caught. But as I said, everyone's got their own little ways of doing things. Right, let's let that down a little bit and centralise that. Should have got a stool really. No, still a bit buckled. I can't believe how noisy this one is as well. Like none of my rims have ever been that noisy. It was the only thing I didn't want was a noisy freewheel. No, these have got slime, and these have got slime tubes in them. So they've got 5mm protection in the tyre, and they've got slime as well. I used to have tyre armour, which is like a tape you put in the wheel. So you run it round the tyre, and it's just like an armoured tape. You run around the tyre, then you put the inner tube in, and it holds it in place. The only problem I found was it actually slices the inner tubes after, like, I don't know, after about 6 months it starts to slice the inner tubes through, which is a bit shit. So yeah, that's the only downside of them. I've got a compressor down here, I should just use that. Oh God, let's put that down. No, well, I saw a guy come past me when I was on one of the trails. And this is before I kind of got back into the whole mountain bike thing, because as I said, everything I've got is very old, but it still works, and I just use it. And he had all green stuff all up his back, and bits and pieces, and I was like, dude, what happened? He said, oh, literally, he said, just round the corner, he come round the corner, clipped something, it caught the tyre, and literally just blew, he said, literally, the tyre come straight off the rim, the green stuff just went everywhere, and he had to reseal it on the road. And I was like, what the hell? He said, and that's a pain in the arse. So his words were, don't go tubeless. So I was like, okay then, I won't. So that was just one guy that had just had enough. So actually, it might be two guys. There was another guy as well, I think, that had, I think I was out with no brakes again. Another guy that had a tube problem. So that's probably two people I've had now, both were tubeless, that were complaining about it. I think. Nah, I think an inner tube's just easy. Like, think about in car. If you went back to the old days with cars were tubeless, but you could buy an inner tube to put in them. If they had a problem, you'd put a tube in it. That's what they used to do. If they had a bad punch, they'd go, oh, we'll put a tube in that. Because back in the old days, they didn't fix tyres. Not like they do now, like putting patches on the inside and repairing them and whatever else and putting plugs in them. So yeah, that's what they used to do. So I'm just like, do you know something? It's been around for so many years. What has anyone tried these new, is it not PVC inner tubes? They're like they're not made out of rubber, they're made out of something else. I've seen them advertised, but again, you stick with what you know. I'd done over 1,000 miles and didn't actually get a flat tyre, so I'm sticking with these tyres because I haven't had a problem with them. And as I said, these have got even more protection in them. The only thing I don't like about these, I'll tell you, these got a reflective strip on them. But the reflective strip is not perfectly in line with where it should be. So when you put them on a rim, sometimes it goes close to the rim here, but it's far away down there, and it looks like the tyres are, and it gives me fucking heart problems. Because I can see that it's beaded properly all the way round, but the line comes down here. It's not perfect. Like, look here, it's actually that side's not too bad. It's the other side that's poor. But I don't know whether I'm going to put a 9-speed or a 10-speed on these. If I go 10-speed, I can only put it in this new bike I'm building. If I go back to 9-speed, it will go in both bikes, but then the group set I buy won't be as good. The group set I'm looking at putting is Dior, Shimano Dior, which is kind of, it's the bottom of the range of the good stuff, is how I'd kind of put it. It looks like it's made quite well, and I've watched a few videos of actually some of the mountain bike guys that do a lot of the downhill stuff, saying that it's quite good stuff for what it is. They said it's underrated, I think is what he said, but you can pick it up for reasonable kind of money. But I don't like some of the cheaper stuff because it just doesn't work. It's made out of tin foil. But because I'm using old frames, I can't really go to too many gears. Oh, okay. All right, that answers my question. Thank you. Yeah, so if I go to the 11 and 12 speed on the rear, I can't have as many on the front. I still want to have 3 on the front. So normally I ride on my middle chainring all the time. When I'm on downhills and maybe some really good flats, I go on the big one at the front because then I ride it more like a racing bike, and I've got bar ends, so I lean forward and I ride it quite hard. When I'm off-road and I'm going up some of the real hill climbs, then I'll drop down to the really small one on the front and the really big one. I'm going to go, I think I've got a 32 on the rear at the moment. I'm looking to go to a 42 on the rear. So I don't know if we can have as many big chainrings on the front. If we have to go down to a 2 on the front, then we have to go down to a 2 on the front, or I just won't use one of them. It all depends on what gear ratios I can get, but I think I saw one that was a 3x10 group set, which was the Shimano Dior, but I couldn't order it because they didn't have the right swing type. So I need is it down swing? And the only one they had was the side. Is it side? No, not, well, you got down swing and it was the side, something to do with side pull. I need the one that can pull down or up, so it does both. But they've only got it at the moment with the forward pulling, I think it's called, which is a new, I've never seen forward pull before. But they haven't got the kit or the set I want. So I'm either going to have to build the set or just order it and order a separate front derailleur. Lock him, will you? Right. The only thing I don't like is the gel always seeps out. Oh shit, I need to put the ring on that. I need to order some nice little rubber rings to seal these, because I always hate that when you do these up, they go down to the bottom and they don't sit right. And I've found that you can get some nice little collars, so I need to order some of those because it makes them sit better in your rim. Right, there we go. All I've got to do now is swap out the wheels out of that frame and put these ones in it. Whew. Oh. Yeah, it's pretty good. As I said, I went to a bike shop and I'm riding along and all I could feel was the bike doing this. And I'm like, what the hell? And I stopped and the tyre kind of went like that. And I had to let my tyre down and reseat the bloody thing. I'm like, what the hell? Don't ever go to bike shops. Right. Can we take... these are the wheels that come off of Facebook. So let's give these a bit of a... They've got grease on them. Oh, they're not too bad actually. Where's my cloth? Bit of WD-40 in a cloth. Just clean everything with WD-40. Don't oil everything with WD-40, but yeah, clean everything with it. Or GT85's my other favourite one. That's nice. Right. Quick release opposite to the thingy side. Nice. Right, stick that in there, see if that fits in that frame alright. It should do. There we go. Nice, that's one wheel in. Let's get the other one out. Yeah, these are, like I said, these were second hand off of Facebook. There's a spring missing. Oh, I don't think I've got any spares. Give it a clean. What does everyone lube their bikes up with when it comes to what do you put on these days? I used to use copper grease on everything I'd done. As I said, I'm an old-fashioned engineer when it comes to stuff, so everything is what I was taught when I was learning and working in a workshop. Everything in the old days was copper grease. I'd probably use a grease through the middle, a little bit of grease on your skewers, especially if you're going on long journeys and my bike's being left out in the water, in the weather. And when I was in Scotland, GT85 was amazing because I used to spray my gears, didn't I, on a daily basis. So all my gear levers, my derailleurs, every morning would get a good spray of GT85.
Lithium usually.
Lithium. Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of the one. I've got a tube of red, like a red grease, which I use for bearings. So you're saying lithium grease? Oh, okay. It was trying to find little bits and pieces to take with me when I'm on the trails. I'm cycling from Land's End, from John O'Groats back to home next year. So I'm making sure that the bike is all ready. As I said, these are the new rims. So I've gone for an oversized brake because it wasn't about stopping fast, it was just about stopping. Because the bike was really heavy, on 2 occasions when I was coming down big kind of windy roads, I just couldn't stop. My brakes started smoking and the brakes just gave out and I had to use my feet to stop twice on that journey. So next year, when I do it, I've made these bigger, hoping I don't have to go for 4-pot calipers or just stick with what I've already got. As I said, it's just literally to try and stop the weight that I'm carrying. Will that wheel go back in that bike? Yes, we've got it in there. Cool. That is super close. Like, literally the disc is so... the disc is like, we're talking like almost touching the fork. Where are they? There you go. Yeah, it is really close, but they're in there. Just got to wait for the next bits to turn up now, really. Nice. Like, they're not crazy. It's not like downhill crazy, but it's minimal grip. I wanted something that was kind of in between road and off-road. The next thing I need to work out is what rear shock we're going to use. So at the moment, this has got this shock in it, but I've actually got an air shock. This was made with an air shock in this frame. See if I can find it, I'll show you. But it's really, really noisy and really horrible. And I don't really like it. So this is the original air shock that the bike come with. And it's got adjustment on it to make it hard or soft. But what I find is it's so noisy. Like, it's like it goes, and it's just, I want something that's more of a soft bounce. So I want a spring. This is just cheap shit. I could put a slightly longer one here and jack this up at the rear slightly, which would maybe change the... Yeah, they're just really expensive. But what I need to know, and this is for any of you mountain bike gurus out there, you're going to probably know, I know you can get lockout on the forks. Now, these are really soft. These are not very good forks, but they're brilliant for road riding because they're nice and soft. And when I'm going down the trails, it just takes up all the bumps. I might have to put more, slightly more powerful spring in, though, or different forks with the amount of load that I'm carrying. So I might have to change that. But I've got lockout on the rear. I want lockout... on the front, sorry, I want lockout on the rear. So I want to push a lever on the handlebar, and I've seen them, but I'm not sure if I can get them for any make. But basically, I want a lever that locks both them out, so I can lock the front and the rear rather than having two levers, one for front, one for back. So when I'm on the road, I can have it locked, and then when we're going down the trails, if it's a bit bumpy, I can just release it to take some of the stress off the frame. So I've got the choice whether I want it to be sprung or not. And that's kind of where I'm at the moment with it. But it's a learning curve because I don't know much about these new things that are out there. I know that some of the rock shocks I could find, but I can't remember which make it was. I was looking around and I found someone that's done like a double lever. It had a top one and a bottom one for back and front and rear. What is the time? 9:30. I haven't got anything else I can do now. I can't put a disc on it because the carrier that I've got doesn't fit. I think it's a PM. So these are the carriers that basically take the disc brake up to the bigger size. But it doesn't fit the fork. It's a different style. On this fork, it's different. So I've ordered, it was only about £3 from China, so I'm waiting for that one to turn up. So once that turns up, I can then build this. But as again, I said, if this doesn't work, I'll just use the bike we used last year. So I'm just kind of, I don't want to spend money unless I have to. But, you know, it's one of those things, that unless I try it out and build it. So I'm going to try and get this working on a basics. Even if we just put a single gear on it, I'll throw a cassette on it, put a chain on. If we can just run it maybe as a fixie, just so I can test it along with the weight out the front of the house, just to see if it's going to work. I just want to load it up with all the stuff and see if it works. Because the problem I had was when I had all the gear on the bike, I couldn't do this. It was just so heavy, I'd have to kind of lean and it would take me so long. If there was like an obstacle, I couldn't go around it, I'd have to go through it. And there was a few obstacles where lorries went by, and where the steering was so heavy, I just kept on going and ended up like in bushes, and I ended up in gravel and all sorts of things. And I just want to be a bit more free. So yeah, fingers crossed really. The basket, I've ordered the basket for the front. That should be here within the next 2 weeks. We've ordered the fitting, which are like aluminium clamps, so they're going to clamp onto the frame at the top tube and the bottom tube. That will give us 2 mounting points. I'll then make a metal plate that goes either side of basically the headset, and then from that I'm going to weld out the brackets that go to the basket on the front. So that's kind of on 4 bolts, around the headset. Now it should be fine.
Sponges says, and how about them USB things?
The USB thing was for a solar panel. That's only if I get the trailer. I've ordered one, but I'm going to use that on the Stealth. So I'm going to wire that into the Stealth so I can charge my phone when I'm out on the Stealth bike. This one here, this e-bike here that I built for my son, this has actually got one on the handlebar. It's got one here, look, it's got a little USB port. It was a phone holder when we bought them, but like everything, it all got broken. Oh, God.
Giggity Sponges says ye.
I'm so tired, Giggity, so tired. I don't know, I think I've eaten far too much sugar today, that's why. I've gone through 3 packets of sweets. Yeah, probably about 3 packets of sweets. Oh, and a packet of chocolate Brazil nuts. So, yeah, a bit over the top on the on bits and pieces today, but no, I'm happy with them.
Giggity Sponges says, I call it sugary shit.
Sugary shit. I still can't believe that the rims though, they do look nice compared to my old ones. I don't know, has anyone got any bad things to say about the Halo rims? Again, I just ordered them. It was the only 26-inch rim I could find, which had 36 spokes and was a through axle. It's in everything. You can when you eat 3 packets. I've eaten too much today, sugar-wise. But when it comes to trailers, I was building one. I did start building a trailer.
Giggity Sponges says palm oil too.
How many spokes is this? Hang on. See if we can use this on his bike. Where's the tyre? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. So that's got 32 spokes in that rear rim. This is the Chinese bike. How many spokes has this got? And where's the pump? Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this has got 36 in this as well. That's only got 30. So it's got 30. This has got 36 holes in this rim. That hasn't. So they're only 32 in both rims. But yeah, this e-bike has got really cheap spokes. And well, you know Giggity, didn't you? I've broke spokes on that e-bike so many times. But because Hayden's riding it, he doesn't weigh much. Oh. Oh my God.
Giggity Sponges says spaghetti.
Yeah. Spaghetti spokes.
Giggity Sponges says noodles.
Noodles. Well, thank you to everyone that's come in. Thank you to everyone who's new that's come into the channel. Thank you for visiting and saying hello. And for helping out and giving me the information that obviously I didn't know. So you learn something every day, and it's always nice when people come in and kind of let me know. So yeah, thank you to everyone else. Again, for anyone who's watching on other platforms, my main platform is Twitch. So yeah, if you want to come over and follow me on Twitch, that would be a massive help. And if you're watching on Twitch, please follow me on YouTube, because I need to get my YouTube followers up to, I think it's 500 before I can kind of get any
Get the ferret ahead and get the sick bag ready. That's all right, mate. Join the motorway. Oh, go on, put your foot down. Go on. Oh yeah, that's good.
So yeah, take care, everyone. Right, let's raid someone on Twitch. Who are we going to raid? Let's go and find someone to raid. Right, let's have a look. Who are we going to raid? What's going on? Here we go. So basically, raiding on Twitch is basically I forward you on to someone else that's doing an IRL stream. Potential Bliss is on. I think we should raid him. Again, you will only get this if you're watching on Twitch.
Seen in the wild. Like I saw a wolf in the wild one time in my life, and it was insane. I thought it was a giant dog, and then I was like, wait, why the fuck?
Yeah, Potential Bliss he's an awesome dude from California. He lives in his van.
Says that's a really good one.
Yeah, he's a really nice dude. So let's raid him.
Giggity Sponges says he's so chill.
He's proper chill.
1234 says thank you, Clive.
You are very welcome. There we go. So yeah, that is potential bliss. Am I pointing the right way? Up there. Yeah, there we go. Up there. So yeah.
Sponges says cheers.
Again, if you're watching on YouTube or on Kick, thanks for watching. But yeah.
Georgia Todd 1234 says bye. See you next time. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah.
Cup says cheers.
You're very welcome, Fuck Up. Thank you to everyone that comes in and supports me again. As I said, let's build this bike, and it's a bit of fun. We'll see if it's always nice to do something different, and they don't make what I want. So the only way to do it is we build it, we ride it, and we see if it makes it. If it makes it to the places and everything else, then it's even more fun. So it's more of a challenge to see if my pieces of shit will make it. But yeah, thank you everyone. Let's. We've got a few. I get really awkward now because we're running out of time, and I'm like, what do I say while we're going? But yay, it's all going off. Again, if you haven't already checked out Potential Bliss, please go with the raid. Please go and say hello for me. Let's all go and say hello. If you're only a follower, copy the follower one. If you are a sub, copy the sub text. If you are a follower and